future, would love to entertain partnerships that enables us to, you know, uh, and share what else we have. You're well. I didn't see your issue. Well, actually, I did see, but let me see. I still need assistance scheduling the rooms on my profile showing flicks under my grid space. Okay, got it. Again, there's not much that I can do in this audio room. Keep on going then. Um, I see a lot of people joining. Welcome, welcome. If you join late, you did much. We just got started. We were talking about the Sprint 121, where that we just finished, and we actually have it. We're starting a new one right away. We don't stop. We never stop. In fact, we are in this sprint that we're currently working on. There's a lot of really cool stuff, and I'm excited to start seeing some of these features and that it's but I'm always it's called refactor, right? So let's take for example notifications. Notifications is something that we started working on this notifier that you want to make sure that everything that you do gets to the right people. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about notifications. We know we have some issues in notifications here and there, but we're revamping the entire notification layer. Okay, we're going to start by seconds matters in live experiences. A lot of times you can go the first 10 notifications 20 seconds later. It's too late, right? So how notifications are built and the architecture matters, and the speed of delivery matters a lot to you. So we're improving that, number one. We're also improving the messaging. How relevant is the message? Also matters because that want to get notified on, right? So your notification preference, when you have in settings, we're also revamping all of that because as we grow, we're going to go even of what you want to get notified in your hands, which when you are inside the app, I'm sure a lot of you that use audio have gone through this. I have gone through that myself as a user. A lot of times, you're in the middle of an audio room, you're talking from a very conscious of what kind of notifications are we allowing in the in-app experience. So that's going to be improved, which we're super exciting. And also, we're bringing every single notification in your notification tray as well, which is one of our number one objectives. Okay, so notifications is being worked. Let's say that I mentioned in the past, that simplification work means improving the search, then unit experience. I think that's going to be big, especially for first-time users. We got a lot of data, a lot of feedback from users that have been using Fanbase for a while, users that use Fanbase and they uninstall Fanbase. We also got feedback from them, and we got all that feedback, all those learnings. And we're now simplifying the first time experience because that's super important. And again, it goes back into retention. Okay. Finding yourself looking at content that you didn't know you enjoyed, and then suddenly you follow that creator as well. So to us, even though following, so something that I always recommend is you as a creator okay. So just to recap on sprint 122, I mentioned three different things that we're working on: notification refactor, user and content search improvements, and then main navigation simplification improvement as well. Okay, but we're not only doing that; we're doing other things as well. we are working on what we call the content creation simplification. We are going to revamp significantly the way you create content. Okay, no matter if it's flicks, no matter if it's a traditional image or traditional 1 minute videos, no matter if it's Fanbase Plus, there's going to be improvements across the board from how quickly media gets uploaded, how efficiently media is consumed. So it will also have an impact on how much data and media the application consumes on your phone. Also improvements on the way, from tagging to adding locations, also on the filtering as well. And you're going to see a streamlined experience as well. Now at Fanbase, we do have, Flicks, which is, our 2 minute videos. We have media content, which is images and 1 minute videos. We have Fanbase Plus. But at the end of the day, if you think about it, they are all the same, but with different ratio. They all have media, they all have caption. So we're simplifying and standardizing that so it's easy for the everyday user to understand how they can simply create content. Again, just trying to make it as simple as possible. So creating content is a breeze and making money out of the content is the fun part. All right. So one of our squads is focusing on that. We're still refining details because there's a lot of details that goes into content creation, but the team already started developing a part of that as well. Okay, so content creation simplification is being worked, and it also will come before the end of the year, which is super exciting. Okay. Then two more things we're working on. One of them is we are starting with a new iteration of our algorithm. We are actually taking the algorithm to a new level, building a dedicated team just for the algorithm, which is super exciting. And if you go to Fanbase/careers, you're going to see that we're looking for some data modeling specialists and AI specialists and so on. But the algorithm is going to be huge for us. I can't give many details about it yet, but as we progress with the work, I'll show you how the algorithm is helping you as a creator have more visibility and monetize better as well. Okay, but that work has started. We're doing a discovery and architecture right now, but we're going to go into deep development and model training very soon. Okay. And then last but not least, and this is going to be a teaser because I want this to be a surprise and we wanted this to keep it until the last minute, but we found some efficiencies and our web team um, is able to start working with a revenue feed. Here we are. When we started this year, I told you guys we're going to be doing a lot of foundational work. A lot of times that foundational work is not fun or something that it's dope and cool because it's not a new feature. We're working through things that you expect. As we grow the team, as we get better developing, you find efficiency. So finding this efficiency allows us to do things in the roadmap that we thought we're going to be doing later on. So one of those things is that we are going to bring a dope revenue feature to you that we're going to be experimenting with. And the web team is already starting with that. So I'm expecting that to be available within the next month or so. And when it is, we'll talk about it. And I want to get your feedback because I think this feature will be pretty disruptive as well. So again, another revenue feature that Fanbase gives you for you to make more money. All right. So as you can see, we're working on a lot of stuff. We have a small team. We're talking about, no more than 25 developers across iOS, Android, backend, and also QA. So, even though we're 25, we're pretty nimble. We're pretty, we're getting better and better. So we work on an agile methodology. So that means that while some are working on prototyping and other ones are working on actual development while we're testing other things. So we'll move quicker and quicker as time passes, and we'll try to stay nimble and efficient as we grow as a team as well. But as you can see, we have a lot in the kitchen, and as we start releasing, we'll have the chance to talk about it, and I'll be able to give you some demos as well how that works. Okay. With that said, let's take a little break. Let's let's see if you have any questions on the current sprint 122, and some of the work that I just mentioned that we're working on. All right. All right. Let's see what's going on in the chat room. Sorry, I'm going through some of the comments. Now, as someone says, now just release Spark and have easier username tagging. I'll be super happy. Spark will come. Spark will come. But Spark will be so much more impactful and fun once we get over this foundational stuff. I promise you. Let's see. Is it just too soon to say can stop, won't stop? Nope. All right. Let's see what else we have. Can we get a notification when people join our camps versus when they leave? Um, I actually think that in the prototype that we reviewed today, we have that. But I'll take that as a feedback because we're right at the right time. We talked about because camps has a lot of notifications, and in fact, you will be able to disable notifications such as if someone leaves the camp. If you don't want to know who leaves your camp, then you can disable those. But I'll check on that for sure. So I appreciate you sharing that feedback. Okay. All right. Let's see what else we have here. What else we have? Tu- tu- tu. Sorry, there's so many messages. Uh, can we get another? So sorry, I already read that one. Let me see. Why would you buy loves? Okay, you know what? I like that statement. Let me tell you why would you buy loves. All right. So this is something I'm a big believer of the concept of social rehab. That's how we call it. So social rehab to me is that programmed as users for many years, since the Facebook times, that views and likes are everything. We feel good when we have 100,000 views or when we get 100 likes, right? But at the end of the day, what does that gives us? Just a good feeling, feeling that people are viewing your content, but you put effort into that content, regardless if it's a picture of you playing a sport or you being in front of the camera and spending 1 hour to do 2 minutes of content. You spend time, and at the end of the day, there has to be something better than just a like or a view. And that's what fan base is all about. It's all about that the whatever content, no matter if you spend 1 hour, 1 day, or 10 minutes, has value. And it has value to someone. Everyone has a fan base, right? So you might ask why someone would buy labs, because there are people out there who are willing to support creators, no matter if you don't think you're a creator, no matter if you think what you do is not of interest to other ones, there are other people that are willing to support. And we're seeing that on Fanbase. In fact, when we started Fanbase, we started with the subscription concept, right? Where you can subscribe to anyone so you can see their exclusive content. And then we added the concept of love, right? Where anyone can support you just because. You have a piece of content that is great, I'm going to give you love. You have a great comment, I'm going to give you love. So you'll be surprised how many people are willing to support you, even if it's through a basic love, and they're willing to buy those loves. I mean, most people, those that have been playing games on phones or anything, they don't care spending $1 and buying 100 loves. So a lot of people will be willing to buy love and support you. And we got to start changing our mindset that content has value. And there's people that are willing to buy love, and there's people that are willing to give you love, real monetary value love, and also subscribe to you. And we're seeing it happening, and that's going to continue growing. And that's what we call part of the social rehab, because just like we were programmed to be happy with a like or views, we're going to be happy when we actually start making money out of your content. We're actually seeing money going into our bank account, and that's the real value to us. So to me, that's the reason why you should buy love. I buy love just because I love supporting users in Fanbase as well, and that's why I give love away. So, all right. Hopefully that. Let me see. Someone says, why this room gets to be trending and others don't? Well, because we actually have a lot of people, number one, okay? And this is a room that happens consistently every Thursday at the same time, right? So there's predictability as well. So if you have an audio room that brings a lot of folks in the room, that generates engagement and is consistently being done day in and day out, there's definitely a chance that you can be trending as well. Okay. Let me see what else. Uh, I'm not sure I understand. How did you guys discover Fanbase when no one knows where it's located? We're located in ATL. You're welcome, Tony. So good seeing you, brother. All right. Is content search before or after Spark? Sure, you mean content search. I mean content creation. Content creation is going to be before Spark. And in fact, the reason why we're doing it is because when we bring Spark, it's going to be part of the content creation flow. So if we don't get the content creation flow right, then I think we're skipping steps going straight into Spark. Let me see what else going on. Choo, 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 choo. Peace and love, guys. Come on. We can disagree and commit. I heard that from one of our advisors, and I love that phrase. Okay, you disagree? Let's commit, disagree, and commit. Let's move forward. Um, Rama, playing devil's advocate. If people aren't purchasing the labs in general, is another revenue feature relevant now? I love that. I love challenges. So, number one is we are seeing purchasing happening in Fanbase. Okay. Obviously, the question is great because if something is not working, a variation of what's not working, what's the point, right? The revenue feature that we're bringing is not a variation of labs, for example. It's just another tool that you're gonna have to be able to take revenue even outside Fanbase. So it's a lot that you're gonna see a lot, and you're gonna hear me say a lot is experimenting. We are trying to turn Fanbase into an experimenting machine because that's the best way you can find out what really works for you guys and what doesn't, rather than make assumptions. So we experiment, we bring things to you guys, we let you use it, we look at data, we hear you guys, and if it works, it helps the creator, or we do better of that, or we do better of that. And if it doesn't, then we move on to other things. So um, definitely, if something is not working, we shouldn't keep insisting on that. And that's very clear in Fanbase. This revenue feature is not related to something that is not working in Fanbase. Actually, another layer that we think is going to empower the revenue features that we have in Fanbase. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay. Will there be a music mode for Fanbase? I'm not sure what music mode is, but there will be music in Fanbase. Music to us is super important. Now, the reason why we don't have quite yet music features in Fanbase is because of the amount of money and effort that it takes to bring music into a platform like Fanbase. Okay. We do have the right people involved in Fanbase to help us do that, but it takes money. We're in the middle of a race right now. We're raising $17 million in startengine.com/fanbase. Part of that money will be used to start building our music efforts, but we're not there yet. We're at 12 million, so we still need to finish the race before we can continue exploring that route. But music is huge. I mean, the founder Isaac Hayes III, an icon in the music business, that's all he wants, right? And in fact, the way we're going to bring music will also be disruptive and will be a way for creators to make money out of too, right? So it's a tough industry, not only to get into and to use is costly, but also when you're trying to disrupt, it's even tougher. But we're gonna get there. So music is definitely part of our roadmap. Are you guys going to integrate AI onto the platform? Uh, the easy answer is yes. Okay. But let me give you a little more context on AI and fan base. So I see AI in fan base in two big areas. Okay. Because it's not only putting AI in the product, that's number one, that's one, right? But it's also using AI to improve the way we do things that in fact we're having different efforts. One of them is organization wise, we are starting to formalize and start in our development process that will per se allow us to move quicker, allow us to be more nimble and not have to be, or initially I would say, because this might expand in the future, in two areas. Number one is insights, bringing AI in insights, and number two is in content creation. We know that creating content and building a AI, we're going to start with content creation. All right. Someone says, I think I addressed the music one, but will there be a way to add music on a post? The answer is yes. We used to have music in Flix. We did a test run, which was working fine, but then the partnership that we had, for many reasons, it didn't fit Fanbase's business model, so we had to close that. But the idea for the music is definitely allow you to use it within your not yet, uh, but marketplace is definitely in our roadmap. Okay. Um, I would like to be able to access my Google Photos accounts on Fanbase like on other platforms. Is that part of your? You are you talking about your gallery itself? I'm curious about that one because we actually did talk about some gallery. Uh, don't worry, Joyce. I love playing devil's advocate. I like you guys challenging me. I take it. Makes us better. Um, is there live stream, for example? So if you're on a live stream and a subscriber joins the live stream, you can see that from a badge. But as we intended, um, it is now the lowest barrier of entry of use for any when you subscribe to someone, it's a someone that has been in Instagram all their life, comes to fan base, they see the love, and all of a sudden you can continue using it like you use any other platform. And that's what we're working on, and that's the reason why we're also growing. It's like what's going on here. Man, you have. When are we going to get API and our own recording plugin and do some webhooks to open it up? Hopefully soon. It's not a priority for this year. The recording of all your rooms, content or join the room by only contributing 125. I'm not sure I understand that because I mean, so something that eventually, as we get better, we'll do is we'll automate a lot of these possibilities that connects you with your subscribers and gives value to your subscribers. But in the meantime, there's a lot of things that you can do manually to take care of them, right? If you have, subscribers and you don't want them, by doing an exclusive room, they'll be able to use that room without having to pay anything extra. They're subscribers already, right? So there's many ways that you can do it without them having to pay again. Rama, what's the biggest suggestion for improvement from your tickets you receive? Um, it's a great question, and it changes. We haven't yet uh, met for June. We review it every month, but I know a lot of the improvements are coming on the audio side. Audio is one of our most engaged verticals in Fanbase, so it's obviously normal to get most of the improvements to come through there. So, all right, what else? We have a few more minutes, guys, and then we're gonna wrap up because I know that you're getting ready for 4th of July. getting the grill ready. Let's see. Rama, can you speak on perhaps removing tweet and adding Rumble integration? I cannot talk about that because I'm not sure. That seems like a tweet and Rumble. Okay, let's see what else we have. Sorry, guys, there's a lot going on. So if I miss your question, don't think that I'm ignoring it. I'm just trying to address things that I think are going to be important for anyone in this audio room. I would like to see Fanbase to evolve into a platform to where all the features on these platforms are way better than Meta, Snapchat, and TikTok. Amen, brother. That's what we aim for. Now, have in mind that you're talking about multi-billion-dollar companies. We are a crowd-funded, self-funded, crowd-funded company. We are about 50 so far. So we want to get there. And in fact, the beginning of this year, um, we had a meeting and we're like, you know what? We gotta speak loud our vision. Okay. And guess what's our vision? Our vision is to become the most valuable media and community platform for creators in the world. Now, that's what we're aiming for. The most valuable, right? And to become the most valuable, you do have to have better experiences than the rest. So they choose you. But there's also a lot of other things that other platforms are not doing it that we are doing it, and we want to continue doing that. So that's definitely the direction we want to go. It's not an easy trip. It's tougher than anyone can think of, but we're doing it. Not giving excuses, but it's just the reality, and I'm confident we'll get there. All right. Um, let's see what else. Well, I'll take one or two more comments, questions, and then we'll do a wrap up, guys. And again, I apologize if I didn't get to your question. I'm giving love to those that I was able to address. Du- 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 du. All right, what else we have here? Sorry, guys. Du- 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 du. I would love an audio feature on Fanbase Park. Ooh, interesting. Definitely, we want to get to a point where the experience among all the different verticals. Um, all right. Well, guys, let me see. I'm trying to see if I'm missing any auto microblogging. I love your ideas, Gary. You're an idea machine, man. All right, guys. Well, we have 5 minutes left. I want to do a recap for those that joined late. First of all, I want to say thank you for the amazing questions and comments and the challenges you guys put in the chat as well. I really appreciate you guys sharing your point of view on all these things. We started the audio room by talking about the latest, which was 121, and also announcing that we have a new release, release 4.7.0, in both iOS and Android. So if you go to a Google Play Store or App Store, you should be able to download the latest and greatest. In that release, we have the last pieces of our break fix marathon. We've been cleaning the backlog. We solved 82% of our backlog. Our objective for Q2 was 70%. So kudos to the entire development team. They've done an amazing job. And the exciting thing about that is that as we finished Sprint 121, we started with Sprint 122, where we are actually going into some of these foundational features. We are refactoring notifications for quicker, better, more relevant notifications that brings you or allows you to build community better. We're also improving the user and content search. We're simplifying and improving the main navigation, which is super important for those new users that fall into Fanbase and they want to understand how to use it. We're also simplifying and improving the way you create content significantly. Um, Better uploads of media, more efficient use of your media, and more tools at your hand as you create content. And we're also working on a new revenue feature that we thought we're going to be able to tackle later in the year, but we're starting to tackle it today. So hopefully in the next month or so, you're going to have another revenue tool at your hands. That I'm super excited about that. And we also started a new iteration of a new and improved algorithm as well. And I think that's going to be super, super important. That's going to be evergreen work that we're going to continue doing for the rest of our lives. But definitely, this first iteration is going to be super important for fan base and the users. All right. And of course, hopefully, you guys felt that I answered some of your questions and comments that you have. Don't feel like this is the only space you have to communicate with us. You can always shake your phone. You heard me right, shake your phone so you can provide feedback. If you have any issues, we'll always hearing it and we'll try to help as soon as we can. And I invite you to come and join me again next Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm here every Thursday. So we can have another conversation and you can see how week by week we're moving forward, we're improving. Of course, we're not able to get to everything we would like to get, but hopefully we'll get there. And don't forget that we are in the middle of a race. If you go to startengine.com/fanbase, you're also able have of the platform that you actually use and you help improve with your feedback with a new user, as an existing user, an investor, you guys make this platform. And take care, guys. Happy 4th.